Do you know what I've learned recently? Besides knowing that some hairstyles will literally eat at your hairline, right? Like this particular hairstyle, there was a lot of gel involved because I had like thick braids, and so I don't know if it's the gel because I feel like the gel makes it easier for the hair to pull out from the roots. So I know this is definitely a hairstyle I'm never gonna do again, and I had to remove it a bit early because child, no, some things are just a no. Speaking about no's, I was I never really know how to place my timelines, but I was having a conversation with somebody we don't know. If I should say yesterday, not was definitely not yesterday, but sometime not that long ago. Once upon a time, let's go with that one. Once upon a time, I was having a conversation with somebody, and we were really just talking about um, being born again, and especially we're talking about sex, right? So the fact that when you become born again, you cannot have sex outside of marriage because, yes, it's fornication, it's sin, right? So you're trying to live a refined life on godly principles, and so you study up on what does God say about sex, um, and so no sex before marriage, right? So we're having this conversation, and I don't have an issue with this. Personally, I really don't have an issue with this. So this person was talking about how that sounds like a punishment, right? How actually not, and that's actually a lot of people's opinion that not having sex outside of marriage is a punishment, right? Um, Again, it's not. So one needs to then dissect the different ways people think about things. So of course we walked away from that conversation, each one with his own opinion, and each one with their own life's practices. But then I kept on thinking about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and we got really to the conclusion, me and my thoughts, of course, to the conclusion that not having sex, first of all, sex is overrated. Let's just start there. Sex is amazing, sex is pleasurable, yes, but sex is overrated. And for people to actually think that you cannot live without sex is laughable at most, right? Um, but really, what I concluded on was the subject of self control. Some people go on a celibacy journey. Oh, God bless me. So some people really do go. I'm not gonna try and make this very long, but I know conversations around sex can be very interesting. But really, it's a matter of self control, right? And I thought about it. I really did think about it. Trust me, I think quite a lot. So I did think about it. And it's sad that people can control themselves. You see, because people can control themselves, there's a lot of havoc that happens in society because people are just like, you know what, I couldn't control my edges, so I just decided to, yes, rape somebody's child. Because we don't have self-control, you can genuinely throw away a wonderful marriage that you've been having. Self-control, I think, is a foundational thing. And so being single and not having sex, waiting to have sex after marriage, the way God has ordained it, really is not a period of punishment. And I know sometimes you feel, don't get me wrong, don't think that because people are single and serving God that they don't have desires. Oh child, this flesh has desires. Ugh, right? But really, if we cannot master self-control, there's a lot of things we cannot master in life. People assume, okay, things are complex. It's not just black and white. obviously, you know. But I was thinking about finances, you know, because I'm a financial advisor. I was thinking about how people genuinely struggle to just manage their money, right? How people just struggle to keep to a budget. How people just struggle to not get that second loan. How people just struggle to not buy that thing right now with the money that they were saving for something else. Of course, some of these things are generational curses, to be honest with you. We can't deny that out of the equation. And so a lot of things are spiritual. But the mastery of the self, the mastery of the flesh, I think is an applaudable. Is that the right word? Applaudable? Is it plausible or applaudable? But it's this endeavor. Because if you can master your body, one day you'll be in a marriage, and then you and your spouse will be separated for a couple of months, even a year. And you will not, I'm not saying you won't get the urge to cheat or that there will not be temptations, but you'll be able to keep it in your pants for a year. Why? Because you were able to do that when you're single. Because it's a skill that you've mastered. I honestly feel like the body is a body is a variety of skills to master. And so not having sex outside of marriage is not a punishment. It's kind of like a field of study, if you love studying. And then you just get to figure out, how do I do this? How do I not do this? I know this is long, but I love it. The other thing that I've also learned is this. When I have sexual desires, right? And if you're single, the nearest and closest of sexual pleasures to get to is masturbation, right? But that's also something that I vowed for myself that I wasn't going to do. Because for me, it's not really different from sex, to be honest with you. I'm just having sex with myself and whoever is roaming around in my mind. But even then, I love having a conversation with the Holy Spirit when that happens, right? And I've had quite amazing conversations with the Holy Spirit. And some of them really is about what is it that is lacking in the moment that we're trying to fill up with the sexual pleasure. There's always something that's lacking. There's always something that you need. And so I promise you, speak to a sex therapist. You'll learn that sex is really just a hole that you plug and plug and plug in with everything that's lacking in your life. Sex is overrated. It really is. Sometimes it just breaks your heart for no absolute good reason. Sometimes you, as my friends and I used to call it, to waste. Should I say this out loud? I'm not gonna say this out loud. Because it's a little too vulgar, but it is a waste of a good shave. Let me put it that way. Because sometimes it can be ridiculously disappointing, is it not? Like, it's so disappointing. You've built up so much excitement around the whole sexual activity, and then you go and have sex, and you're like, oh, right? But I hope that on this journey, especially if you're a Christian, that you don't think of it as a punishment. You don't think of it as so like other people have it and I don't have it. But you really think of it as, oh my goodness, this is it's like I don't know, maybe I'm the only person that loves tests and studying, but you think of it as something a skill that you could master, right? Just like pottery or gun shooting or whatever hobbies you have. Just think of it as a hobby that you could master. Like, I can do this, right? I can do this. I still wanted God, I really do. But I can do this. I don't know if that helps.